You're listening to the Global Countdown, first broadcast on The Briefing on the 10th of October.
This is The Briefing with me, Andrew Muller. It's the last item on Thursday's show, which means that regular listeners have already thrown their radios into the nearest available pond, but those who've never listened to The Briefing on a Thursday before are about to be treated to the Global Countdown with Fernando, Augusto, Pacheco. Fernando, where are we going?
We are going to Turkey, but today, as every week, it's a special one.
It's always special.
It's always
Fernando.
special. Of course, the Quality of Life Conference is happening right now in Istanbul.
Many of our colleagues literally are in Turkey.
In fact,
I'm sure they are all right now huddled round a radio, tuning in.
I hope they
Hi,
don't.
everyone.
I hope they don't test my Turkish. It's quite a challenging language, especially if you don't speak the language. But basically, Andrew, I'm basing my Global Countdown on a piece on Monocle this month by Hannah Lucinda Smith. So shout out to her because she gave me a lot of inspiration.
She'll be huddled round the radio with the rest of them right now.
So she looked at Turkish pop music and she even interviewed a big pop star, which I'm not going to mention the name right now.
Okay.
So it's not quite an order like the best song. It's kind of a chronological order of Turkish pop history.
Okay.
We're starting in the late 60s now. She is the diva in Turkey. Her name is Ayda Pekan, and she's 78, still performing stages. This year, I think she was performing in June. Some people say that she's a Turkish Cher. I would say she could be even bigger than that, in a way. We're going to play one of her biggest hits, which is the Turkish version for I Will Survive. The name is called Bambaşka Biri by Ayda Pekan.
Yalnız kaldım, yıkılmadım, ayaktayım, yaşadım, yaşıyorum. Başım yukarıda meydan okuyorum, hayata ve sana. Gönlüm doluyor aşkla, barıştım bak hayatla, başladım, yaşamaya.
I mean, it's fabulous, undeniably.
I mean, the melody will, of course, be familiar to anybody who has ever drifted within earshot of a karaoke bar, but you're saying that's late 60s?
That's kind of, that song that we played is from the 70s. So
That's
it's
what I
actually,
thought, because I would have placed the Gloria Gaynor hit at circa the mid-1970s.
You're very right. I mean,
You're not going to catch me out on Gloria Gaynor, Fernando.
1968 when she released her debut LP, but then I chose this track, which is one of her most famous songs.
I see.
As well.
I'm watching you, Fernando. Is
Please
what I'm
do,
saying.
please do.
You're not going to get anything by me today. What do we have next? Which epoch are we now descending upon?
We're going kind of to the late 70s, early 80s. And my first question is, are you a big fan of Anatolian psychedelic rock?
It's not, if I'm honest with you, Fernando, an issue I've ever given a great deal of thought until this very moment.
Perhaps you should, because it's very influential right now. Even new artists in Turkey, they are using lots of that sound. And I think one of the most important kind of singers in this kind of scene of Anatolian rock, which all started in the 60s. But this song we're going to play is from 1973. It's by a singer called Barış Manço. The song's called Hey Koça Topsa. Let's have a listen and then we'll talk more about the song.
I mean, this sounds like somebody trying to bring traditional Turkish influences to bear on something like Jefferson Airplane. And obviously anything you brought to bear on Jefferson Airplane could by definition only improve it.
Exactly. But I generally think they had a very strong scene, very distinctive. Of course, there's been some influences, from the Western world. For absolutely no doubt. But this scene, as I said, we have a band called Altingan. They're a Turkish band. They're doing very well today, not only in Turkey, but outside Turkey as well. And clearly you see the influence of an artist like Barış Manço. And he also, in 1973, he already started doing video clips before MTV even started. So he was kind of an original in that sense as well.
And doubtless in many others. What do we have next?
Now we're going to the 90s. This song was big. I remember as a child in Brazil, I've listened to this. It was genuinely a worldwide hit. And he's still big today. It's, of course, Tarkan with Sumarik, which means spoiled. I'm sure you're going to recognize this track, Andrew. Let's have a listen.
Seni gidip fındık kıran, yılanı derinden çıkaran, kaderim püskül belam, yakalarsan. Seni gidip fındık kıran, yılanı derinden çıkaran.
That was, of course, later a hit for Neighbours alumnus turned Reform UK advocate Holly Valance.
Exactly.
I knew that without looking it up, which is a tragic waste of brain cells, really.
Well, and let's be honest, the original is much better.
Well, so are most things.
Exactly. But Tarkan, he's huge. I mean, and this song was all over Europe. In France, it was a big hit, and #1 in Belgium as well. So I think he showed that Turkey could also not just this Anatolian rock vibes, but could have a very catchy pop tune. I'm a big fan of Tarkan as well, and that kiss kiss at the end, it's quite cute as well.
At number 2.
Well, and number 2 we have, I mean, of course I have to mention this. Turkey, I'm missing you so much on Eurovision. What a shame. They stopped performing at the event in 2013 because they disagreed with the voting system. But they had a very amazing history.
What was their disagreement with the voting system? Did they disagree with the fact that nobody ever voted for them?
Exactly, but what a shame. I mean, but let's be honest, Turkey actually was okay. It was never like the worst on the list. I think
It was often pretty dreadful.
No, really. Not this song that we're going to play right now. The winning song from the 2003 Eurovision Song Contest by the national icon, may I say, Sertab Erener with Every Way That I Can.
That won Eurovision.
They won, and it's known among Eurovision fans as one of the best winning songs of all time.
Is it?
It is true. And
this is a bit of a one-eyed man in Kingdom of Blind scenario.
But Andrew, not only that, it's a celebration of Turkey-European Union relations, which at that time, it was a sign of positivity.
Do you think that song may be the reason that Turkey's accession to the EU has stalled?
No.
Do you think the rest
Quite
of
the opposite.
Do you think the rest of the EU heard that song at Eurovision and thought, God, what a din! If we let them in, there'll just be endless amounts more of that.
They were just jealous about the amazing Turkish pop scene. That's all I can say.
It's an interpretation. With what are we reaching a shuddering climax of this week's Global Countdown, Fernando?
Well, and you know what? I'm going to promote the October issue as
Why
well,
not?
because we have an amazing profile of this Istanbul musician. Her name is Melik Sahin. She is amazing. And she's, besides being a modern pop diva, her lyrics are very much feminist. So a lot of Turkish women, they use her lyrics actually when they go and protest as well. So there is kind of a political component to her music, and it's amazing. She has a new album out. We're going to play one of the new singles by Melik Sahin is Ortak. Let's have a listen.
Mazur gör, merak bu, sadece soruyorum. Öyle kolay mı el gibi kaçmak, mazeretin ne olsa da duysak, söyle değer mi, değdi mi ortak, dağ gibi
Controversially and unusually, Fernando, I didn't hate that. I think that's actually not bad at all. And listeners and indeed readers can find out more about her in the current issue, which is on a newsstand near them right now, yes?
Absolutely. And I think she represents this new modern Turkish pop music scene. And as I said, it's quite distinctive. I don't think, in the past we have Ida Pekan covering I Will Survive. But this time it's quite the opposite. Probably some Western artists will go to Turkey and be inspired.